Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I am knowing that right now and right here is the right place to be. Thank you for being with us. I am Reverend Rodney Gittens, and we have a wonderful presentation, a wonderful conversation in store for you today. And before we get started, we are always starting on a mission. And our mission is to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and the application of spiritual principles. One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. That means that includes you. And our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. And we welcome everyone. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. And please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. And after that welcome, we're now going to dance our way in with some music. It's our opening song that we use because we want you to have the right mindset for your life, not just today, but for every day. And it's called I'm Choosing Heaven Today. What would you like heaven to look like for yourself? And because we're all one, what we want for ourselves, of course, we want for all because we're all one. And if you would so, please put what you're choosing in the comments. And we'll have our guest speaker, who will also do the opening prayer, use that in the opening prayer. Use that comment. Use that spiritual quality of what you're choosing for yourself and all others. So let us begin with choosing heaven today. Yes, choosing heaven. What are you choosing? What does heaven look like for you? What does it feel like? And to assist in that and getting in touch with all of that, we have a wonderful opportunity. We have another wonderful guest, and her name is Estelle Gibson. She's a very spiritually minded, spiritually hearted, spiritually soulful CPA. She's also a best-selling author. She's a holistic financial coach. She empowers women, couples, entrepreneurs to create financial freedom, stability, and power. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Uh, Also, she's a TEDx speaker, so we're in store for some really powerful stuff. And right now, to start off with that power is the opening prayer, the evocation, Estelle Gibson.
Thank you, Reverend Rodney. So let's just all take a collective breath in and just breathe it out, centering our awareness in the one power and the one presence. We know that God is God's spirit, higher power, source, whatever name you have for the infinite. We know that God is all that there is, one power, one presence, one mind. And so we know that this day is here and this time is a divine appointment. If you are in the vicinity of my voice, if you can hear me speaking, you are here upon a divine appointment. And so we just give thanks in advance that knowing that everyone here today is here for the perfect reason that they will hear exactly what they need to hear. And we know and we give thanks for Reverend Rodney and everyone behind the scenes that makes this happen, that creates a space of joy, peace, love, wisdom, clarity that we can step into and experience whatever we need to experience today. So we open our hearts and we open our minds to hear this message of joy, of peace, of love, of connection, of vulnerability, of community. And I speak my word for the world right now, knowing that despite what is going on, the circumstances, the experiences in the world, that we can hold the space for peace, that we can hold the space for love, that we can hold the space for joy, and that we do our part in raising the vibration so that we can all experience those qualities of God. And so I give thanks this day, knowing that this is absolutely in perfect order. This service is divinely guided and ordered, and so it is.
And so it is, yes. And what you've experienced, and thank you so much, Estelle. Yes, we are grounded on a very high level. Thank you so much. One Love Center, we are prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that Spirit is full of power, always full of power. It is the power, charged and already always within you for your immediate use. And you can make a request for prayer support and send us at this time, send us an email at onelovecenter.org. And your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. So we pray, we do our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer for you for free for a period of 7 days. So use us. That's what we're here for. Send us an email. And my request is that when your prayer is answered, shoot us an email and let us know. And also, if for whatever reason you feel it's not answered, let us know. And we will continue to pray for a period of 7 days and know the truth about whatever situation that is. And I love Estelle had picked a card from her stash that she has, and it was joy. And I always say, if there is so much joy in your life and you don't know how to handle it, send us an email and we will pray that there is within you and there is enough space within you to handle that joy and more. And so if there's anything less than that, certainly send us an email and we'll know the truth about that situation. If you need more in-depth time, email us and let us know, and we will arrange uh, a session, a prayer session. It is at cost. There is a fee. However, no one is turned away. So there's no excuse. Use us. And thank you. Thank you so much. So we have Estelle Gibson. and who I know. It's so funny because we met through doing visioning, which you'll hear more about later, with Ray Jordan. And thank you, Ray. Just wonderful presence in the planet. And however, I just feel like I've known Estelle a long time, even though I went to school in her area. We probably never met, but anyway, here we are. And we're going to also be joined in time with Lita Perez, our practitioner in training and also working as well behind the scenes. So many of you are familiar with her as well. So obviously, I'm in just delightful company. Uh, and we're talking today about, and we we're still together. That's the topic for today. We're talking about that topic, living out loud, for the whole month,
Mhm.
and it's in a way that we get to honor
Oh no.
sees and thinks, but from what we think and see about ourselves, from ourselves, about ourselves, within ourselves, and without the outside of it as well. And that's very important. I also want to mention that Estelle is an author. She has a published book, which you can also, I would expect you to want to grab that book as soon as you can. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But the main thing is that we are talking about being well, and we're still together comes from an old TV show. Seems like wow, old, but yeah, it's In Living Color, and the whole theme of the month we've been using pieces from In Living Color, and we're still together is about a couple who were always at odds with each other and fighting and yelling and screaming, and at the end of the skit they would say, "And we're still together," you know. So it's really, I think, a good message that when things don't look like they're working out, when things don't seem to be that version of everything's okay all the time, uh, when things get a little uncomfortable or a lot uncomfortable, the main thing is it's about unity. It's about we're still together, and you know what? There's a greater chance for things to work out in the next moments to come. So, um, let's see. And again, we have Lita Perez and Estelle. And would you either of you like to say anything before we actually get started?
Estelle, I'll let you go first.
I'm just grateful and happy to be here today. Thank you for having me. And I'm very excited about this topic because it's something that I deal with in working with people in general, but couples and partnerships and parents and children. Especially my expertise is in money, but it relates to every area of your life, in conversation, in community. So I'm excited about this conversation today.
Awesome. Well, we are excited as well. And we
Mm-hmm.
want to also welcome Ray Jordan, who is
Yay,
watching
Ray!
as well. So thank you. And please free for Ray or anyone who we may not know that you're necessarily watching. If you'd like to contribute, feel free to do so as well. You can just type into the comments. Okay. So actually, let's start with a quote that we can converse about. And I'll start off. It says, God is different to us now, more spirit than ever before, and more internal. Most people think he has to look like something or someone, a roof leaf or Christ, but we don't. And not being tied to what God looks like frees us. That's from Alice Walker in the book,
Mm.
movie, I guess it's also page 257. And I just love that as a great way to open because it frees us up to have further conversation. Anybody want to comment on that?
I will. It just reminds me of Science of Mind
Mm.
and this principles, that the universal principles that God isn't a person or God is just everything all the time. The smallest denominator of what you can think of is God everywhere and everything, and so that's why it's not recognizable and very, it's not finite, it's infinite. So
Mhm.
I think to me that's what she's saying here. More spirit than ever before and more internal, which of course we know that God is internal. Most people think he has to look like something or someone. Not true. And also in conversations with people, and you're talking about being amongst community, people want to belong, and we are raised to feel like we want to belong, but we're all, I say, we're one of one. If we've got individual fingerprints and we've got individual body chemistry, why do you expect us to be the same in relationship, in communication, in community? We are individual, and we have a common denominator. If we get down to the smallest atom, we have a common, in humanity, we have a common denominator, but people seem to focus on what's different instead of, accepting the differences and focusing on where we are the same. And I think that's the key thing for me.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, I just wanted to add, uh, in light of that, many people and cultures want everything to look the same,
Right.
including God. So what, or the perception of what God is, and so many times in the, even in the major religions, it's like, is it God made in the image and likeness of man, or is it man made in the image and likeness of God? And sometimes either way, it's painting a picture of humans, of man. It's like, okay, yes, yes, we're made in God's image, and this is what we say God looks like, and it's not very freeing at all, especially when it comes to
Right.
diversity. When when it comes to, well, we're going to just have to go there and tell them what their God looks like, so uh, yeah, which we know a whole lot of colonization and uh, was rife with all of that. So anyway, um, let's move on to the next quote. Uh, yeah, Lita, would you like to take the lead on that?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I will. Your spiritual magnificence is your very essence. It is the place within you that has never been hurt or harmed. It is that which knows, and it knows that it knows. It is it's your highest and best self, your greatness, brilliance, and opulent splendor. It's the kind and generous, trusting, believing, prosperous, grateful, wise, beneficial presence on this planet that is you. It knows what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and it does it. And this is by Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, the weekly column, Paso Robles Press. I love this quote. I love how it says, your greatness, your brilliance, your splendor, your opulent splendor. And it really speaks about who we truly are. And it's I know for me sometimes a challenge to come back to realize, that we are magnificent creatures. We are magnificent beings. So this is a wonderful quote. Uh, what do you say?
I'll quickly share it. What a world we would have if we operated from this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So how Estelle, um, how do you use this in assisting families or couples or even individuals when it comes to their financial freedom?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have a kind of a three-pillar process, and the first is awareness. Many
Mhm.
people don't even know this, right?
Yeah.
So the first piece is to become aware that this is a possibility, and then go from there. And from that leads to prosperity, and that's part of the meaning of my book, Poor by Choice question mark, is do we have a choice? If we go from this quote, we definitely have a choice. We are at cause, And helping people to understand that is a very first step. And a lot of people don't operate that from that. They operate from their experience, their family background, their programming. That is the main place that people come from. So this is a key step in if people, not everybody that I work with wants to see things from a spiritual perspective. My best and favorite clients do. And that's where things can get really exciting, because if I can have them to see things from this perspective, and it's a back and forth because we do live in the world and people get off track, so it's a constantly coming back to this kind of a awareness and statement, so that we can then know that anything is possible. And when it comes to finances, what I call it, your big money dream, that your money dream is possible. Because many people come in not thinking, they don't even have a dream, they're just dealing with circumstances. Many times, like what we deal with in church, people come in with the circumstances, and then we have to get them to a place where they realize that they are at cause.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we're thinking about, and we're still together. This this quote is two things. One, it's what brings people together, and they don't even phrase it this way, but this is what it is. This is the light. This is the glow. This is the joy. This is the happiness. This is oh, I just love you. This is what it says. We're recognizing that in ourselves, because that's what attracted the other person who knows this about themselves on a level that they couldn't explain it like that. And this is what keeps people together in spite of all the stuff that happens.
That's right.
This is the foundation. This is the bottom line of the unspoken spiritual magnificence. Our essence. It's our default that we don't even know is there, but yet something keeps us together. Something keeps us in the game.
I want to share one more. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just got to share this. So, in working with couples, this is the thing that I love working with couples. And what you just said is why. Because couples have that first spark, the thing that they see this, they experience this in the beginning of a relationship. And then time goes on and things happen. And I can talk about what I feel like relationships are for, which is for a healing experience. And when I meet with them, they are in the struggle, and they're like, I don't even know why we're together. And when we begin to work together, this is what's present. It's like when they can, when they talk about their big dream, or when they talk about what they want in their life, it's like they look at each other like, oh my gosh, that's why I fell in love with you again. It's like the love is so present, and this is why. So thank you for sharing that, because that's what I experience in working with couples when they get to that.
Well, and it's interesting, and I'm sure you know as well as many other people, and maybe they don't know, and it might be well to know that one of the main, I think, the statistic is the main thing that couples break up over is money.
Yes, it is.
And it's like after
I
all,
can tell you why, but
yeah, it's money is a mood changer. Money, there's a lot. There's competition. There's all these things that can get in the way of remembering the truth of who we are on some level. And that money was, we didn't look at the resume. Well, maybe some people did, but, before you get into a relationship, it's like, well, let me see your bank account. No, that's not the attraction for that has us meet in the first place. That invisible thread, that just sings with the harmony, and electricity when we meet. And then we want to add all this other stuff, like money. However, but yeah, I just wanted to add that to what you were speaking. Yeah. All right. So, let's entertain another quote, and we'll let you lead that, Estelle.
Okay, great. When someone in vulnerability tells you everything they've known has fallen apart, the correct response is not to quote scripture. The correct response is not biblical apologetics. The correct response is a hug. The correct response is to say, I love you. They have to encounter an impossible love. And that's from Michael McHargue, Finding God in the Waves.
So what comes to you about reading
I
that?
have a lot to say about that. I almost have a whole chapter on this in my book. So here's the thing. So my 3 pillars is awareness, information, and support. And support is where you give and get support. And we are not trained in giving support. And giving support is judgment-free awareness, and it can just be holding space. The big one is listening, being an available space so that people can speak what they need to. And we are in a culture that doesn't do that. And in relationships, people don't do that. They're listening for the next thing that they're going to respond. They're going to, they want to, and it comes from a good place. People want to help. They want to give comments or whatever, especially when people, when it deals with people and money, because there's a lot of money shame. There's a lot of money guilt. There's a lot of money trauma. And people to be vulnerable, money and other circumstances, to be vulnerable enough to share from a deep place, you have to have a safe space, a container and a space where they feel like they can do that. And that takes practice, and that takes, people being aware of that, having the information and knowing, and listening is the first step in that. If you can, you don't need to say anything. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, where you've been on a conversation, maybe on the phone or with a friend, and you haven't done anything. And they just talk and talk and talk, and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And you haven't done anything, but you've listened. And you've created a space where they can be vulnerable. And I think that's one of the key things in giving support and allowing yourself to get support too, is to allow people in enough to create that space for you. So,
Absolutely. And it needs to be a safe space. They have to know that. Especially when a lot of our interactions are dealing with feeling hurt. Especially a couple, you feel safe. Hey, we're together. We're supposed to be supporting each other, and then a hurt happens. A trigger is set off, and the coping mechanisms are not there, not present, or unknown, or not working. And we, in the midst of all of that, yes, there needs to be that space, like that neutral location. That's where the support is. But how do we get there? Yes,
I can tell you.
It's pull back, be still.
Yes.
Also,
go ahead. Also, I have my couples do what's called a money date, but you can do it. It doesn't have to be money. So one of the first conversations I have with couples is about how they interact with each other, and how they bring their, in relationships, we all bring our garbage bags with us, right? And the money bags are filled. And so people start building a dance of how they relate to each other. And it's really based on neuroscience, and it's based on the fight, flight, freeze, or fold. There's 4. People think it's fight and flight, but there's fight, flight, freeze, or fold. And notoriously, I have couples that if a person fights, the person freezes. That's their automatic response to something that comes up. And things come up, and it's my personal belief that in relationships, we are in a relationship to heal and to grow. And once that honeymoon period is over, then the real work begins. And you're going to be triggered, because from a spiritual perspective, you're responsible for your own reactions, your own thoughts, your own beliefs, right? And when something happens in your space, you have a choice of reaction or responding. And you react in a way based on your programming. And so the first conversation is, how do you, when there is a problem, what happens? One person freezes, one person fights, and then it digs in. The more you freeze, the more you fight, the more you freeze. So I have them come up with a code word, like, I'm in the freezer, or I'm in warrior mode, whatever it is, so that because it's not them, they think it's the other person. It's just their programming. It's actually a neural pathway in their brain that something happens and they get triggered and they go down the path. They're going down the path no matter what. And so I have them come up with a pattern interrupt word. Hey, I'm blah blah blah, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's not me." Okay, you get to own your own brain wiring, and I get to be over here in mine, and then we are now in a neutral space where we can have a conversation. But if that pattern is going on and no one has any information awareness, it's just going
Right.
that's why it keeps happening. It's literally a wire in their brain based on something that happened in their life, and they're now triggered. And that's in relationships, that's what happens. Something happens in the workplace, and you're whatever, and you're triggered by the thing. It's not the thing itself, it's the thing that triggers you. It's the past programming and beliefs and behaviors and all of that. And just that's the baggage that people come with, and they don't even know what's going on. There is so much, when people see that, it's like the relief just, and the love starts to elevate, because they're like, oh my gosh, you're not trying to hurt me. No, I'm just reacting to something that happened. And then we can begin to work on the something that happened. But, you see what I'm saying? It's just powerful.
So Estelle, it really is a lot about also, the relationship they had with money themselves. And when you
Absolutely.
mentioned that they bring their bucket of finances, they're bringing their experiences
Oh my
with that
gosh.
relationship they had with
Absolutely.
money, whether it was an abundance or a lack. And just because you have an abundance of it, someone told me, I always had money, and it was my biggest problem. I
Right.
always
More money, more
more
problems. That
more
is a
problems,
fact.
right? So what they're bringing into that relationship is, this is my relationship with money. And so because
Yes.
of this relationship, I'm going to react a certain way in our lives
Absolutely.
together.
And let me
So
tell you how complex that is. And you guys know about this from Science of Mind, from race thought, right? So I
yes,
have a model that people have. So we don't teach about and talk about money in society and families, whatever. We're taught, don't be focused on other people, whatever. And because of that, people learn from what they experience in their environment.
hmm
So there's four levels. The level of the society that we live in, whether it's the United States, a third world country, there are beliefs and behaviors about money that you just inherit based on where you live. Okay? Then there's your community, whether it's your neighborhood, your church community, your social community. Social media is a community. So what are you experiencing? What's happening? What's going on? That's another layer. Then your family. I'm sure you can think of the family motto from your family. We either have to work hard or not work, or collect money, or don't get a job, or have a job, or don't have a business. All those things. We have
money
to work
doesn't grow
hard.
on
Whatever.
trees.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, money doesn't grow. All of that stuff. That's the next level. And then what you talked about, Lita, is the personal level. So your personal experience, whether you've been bankrupt or had a money trauma or lost money or lost your job, so that's four levels that of baggage that people are bringing that they have no awareness of. And then they don't talk about it. In a relationship, they're having no conversation. So they're just operating out of these paradigms, and sort of expecting the other person, just like we talked in the beginning about, God is what the expectation of God is to look like. The way we deal with money is to look like this for each person, and then they're trying to bring that to what, really? I just don't know how you think that's going to work. So that's the kind of stuff that I help people unravel, so that they can then begin to build. I always say couples are 1 + 1 is 3, because two whole people coming together creates something else, right? Not two 50% people trying to create one. It's two whole people coming together so that they can create for themselves what they want in their relationship with money, and that becomes the third thing.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that. That was wonderful.
Yeah. And that is one of the frameworks in my book that I go into.
Yeah, and thank you for that, Estelle. What's important, and we're big on education. We're big on spiritual education. We can get so much knowledge in the world about things, and they don't always match up. They don't always are in congruence. That a lot of times they're more conflicting, especially in families, especially when they're different people. And they have different ideas about how to live their lives. I think one of the most important things is love. Learning that love ourselves, and the only way we can love another is if we love ourselves. Is when we love ourselves. And that's the key. If somebody's running around saying I hate this, I hate that, there's no love being practiced there because you can't love and hate at the same
From an
time.
empty vessel. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a quote coming up, and friendship, true friendship, is an act of love, is love in action. And it says, a friend knows our difficulties and shadows and remains in sight, a companion to our vulnerabilities more than our triumphs. That's by David White, Consolations. And I love this quote because I value friendship so highly. And it's unconditional friendship to me. It's like, yes, it's unconditional love, unconditional acceptance. We get to be vulnerable together. And it's no matter what happens, hey, I'm here for you. And we can work everything else out. But the bottom line is, yes, we're still together. This is what the friendship is about. uh and the paradigms that you talk about, I think what's important is when we can just stop for a moment, like, hey, we're on the same path, we're in this
Yes.
together. uh let's let's put aside the differences, okay, because that's not, obviously, that's, it's tearing us apart rather than propelling us forward together. And so I just love that. And I love that companion to our vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Like, we're not looking for them. And I'm not, hey, I'm just looking, to be vulnerable. Uh, However, when we find ourselves vulnerable, we know we're not alone. Anybody else want to comment?
This is to me when I read this, it's about friends being with you no matter what. During when you're allowed to be vulnerable and open to your friend, that you're going to have your challenging moments, and you know a friend knows our difficulty. A friend understands who we are, and whether they've walked that path on their own, but a friend is there even when you're most vulnerable and allows you to be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a friend. I heard a quote once that um, if you don't love me at my darkest moments, you don't deserve to be part of my best.
Ooh,
So
awesome. Yeah.
if you want to select friends who allow you to be vulnerable and be open, and just cards on the table kind of thing, because you need those kind of people who support you and say, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Estelle?
Yeah, this to me speaks to unconditional love. That no matter what's happening or going on, I'm standing with you. I'm going to love you through it. And to me, that just defines unconditional love. It's not based on any conditions. It's whether it's good, bad, or ugly, indifferent, I'm going to be there.
And that's what Reverend Rodney said. The most important thing is love, isn't
Yep.
it?
So that ties right into this next to last quote. And Estelle, take that on, please.
Yes, to love someone fiercely, to believe in something with your whole heart, to celebrate a fleeting moment in time, to fully engage in a life that doesn't come with guarantees, these are the risks that involve vulnerability. Brene Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. Yes. Yep.
And in that imperfection, you're absolutely perfect. In that
Yes.
imperfection, honor yourself to know that you're still perfect. You are perfect. So yes, unconditional love in that, to love someone. And I love it that it says fiercely. That goes deep, doesn't it? To love someone fiercely, deeply, passionately. I think that's a wonderful thing.
And it's wonderful because, and this is always, we're not just doing this for ourselves. The message is, wouldn't you like to feel that way, that somebody loved you fiercely? Oh, just take a moment and breathe that in.
Right?
That somebody is being vulnerable enough to love you
Mm,
fiercely.
mm,
And what else is there to do but to return that feeling,
right.
to take that risk, that, you know what, they're stepping up, taking a risk to love me with all my faults, with all my,
Mhm.
with all my barriers
Mhm.
uh, uh, and the mistakes I've made. Oh my God, if they only knew.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they love me anyway, fiercely. Mm. And I get
Yes.
to do the same. I get to take that risk also. Wow,
Yes.
how powerful is that?
How freeing that is,
Yeah.
to really know without question, and for my children, I love them fiercely. There's nothing I cannot do for them that I wouldn't do for them. I love them unconditionally. There's no question to the depth of loving them. And I always say this, I've learned more from my children about love than I've learned from others because of how the moment they were put in my arms, the love that I felt of this child, the protection, and then to receive that love back from them. They showed me a lot about what love is and how to love fiercely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we and thank you. And that's true. Well, listen, there's no denying a mother's love. Okay. However, we're talking that for the world. I mean, and thank you,
Yeah.
Estelle, for that wonderful prayer, including all of the stuff going on that people feel proud about when it comes to harming another. And it's just got
Mhm.
nothing to do with that. I think fierce love will easily cancel out any fear, any trying to make
Yeah.
reprisals against anyone. Like, yeah, really want to be together no matter what.
Hmm.
I think that's the most important thing. No, I don't want to drop any bombs on anyone. That's not
Hmm.
going to help us stay together. Staying together means in spite of all of our differences, we find a way. And that's where the healing occurs.
Absolutely.
That sets the foundation for healing to happen when we stay together. We
There's a
we, we
greater
focus.
understanding. If there
Yes,
were a greater understanding of the walk and the path that you're on, let me at least have understanding, yeah, of that. And I think the love will come and follow.
absolutely,
Yeah, that I
absolutely.
just wanted to quickly share that last quote is a perfect definition of what I want in a community.
Hmm. Yes.
Whether it's a community of, two people, or a community like you have here, or community that I'm in, that is, I'm safe to be vulnerable. I am loved unconditionally. I'm supported. We are together. We are bonded. That I love that definition for a community.
Yeah. And listen, that would be on the list of like, the list of like, well, you want to be in a community with me? You know, that's like, hey, this is what we do.
We're loving people fiercely. We're
Yes,
right.
that's it.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do. Yes, we
I
do.
love that. Yes,
That again.
indeed. All right. All right. So we're going to have one more quote and
I love
see.
this quote. I saw you put it up, and I love this quote.
Yes. Okay.
May I,
Well,
may I
go
read
for
it?
it. Yes.
Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, spiritual openness and receptivity, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Oh, I want to read that again.
Yes.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, spiritual openness and receptivity, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Isn't that beautiful? You want to comment on that?
Yeah, to me, what that says is that to be open,
Yes.
and that's the anything is possible kind of thinking.
Hmm.
That is the place to be open and receptive. It is a place of receiving. It's not. It's
Mm,
not. Years ago, a mentor of mine used the metaphor of priming the pump. That a closed fist can't receive,
Yes.
right?
that's
A closed hand can't receive a pump.
right.
If you don't
Yes.
prime the pump, if you don't open the
Mhm.
pump, no water can come. So open and receptive.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's also, the belief that I don't know everything.
Right.
I'm open to
Yes.
receive.
Mhm.
It's like it and I want people not to be confused when it says poor in spirit, meaning you lack spirit. That's not what it means.
No.
It means that my spirit is open and flowing, And
Yes.
I am ready to let go of everything that is unlike whatever it is I need to be who I am, where
Yes.
I am, and the now that I am.
Yeah, and
You
you're
know?
allowing, it's an
Yes.
openness is now allowing all that is with spirit to
Yeah.
be with you.
Yes.
Mm,
And it gives homage to the creator,
yes.
because I don't want to feel like I got it all.
Mm,
Like you said, I got it
yeah,
all, and I'm hoarding everything that
Right.
I've got, and therefore can't truly receive from the creator, which is always creating out of itself, uh, uh, you know, new things for us,
mhm,
individually and collectively, and that includes ways to be together, ways to be in communion and community with each other. Sometimes what worked before won't work now,
mhm.
because we're always changing as well. I mean, the creator God, the divine, is the same yesterday, today, and forever. However, it's expanding. There's always more of
Oh,
itself,
yes.
and it's the same for us as well. That we're not the same as we were when we were 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. So
Right.
we are expanding in our conscious awareness of truth, of being who we are, and we need to be vulnerable, and we need to say, you know what, I don't know that.
I don't know. Yes, I'm going to
What I
allow it.
did know is not working for me. So what's happening now, I don't know. However, I'm open,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and that's what we do, and that's why we also work on ourselves. That's why we offer classes and workshops. And Estelle, I got I'm just seeing opportunities for you to just share what you do in wonderful ways, because
Yeah.
it's so necessary. I
Yes.
think it's important for us to get the information we need, and maybe in ways that we're not accustomed to getting it, like being vulnerable, to
Hmm.
be
Yes.
open to, like, oh, I didn't think of it. Of course, you couldn't think of it that way,
Right?
but we have to, all of us here, I can say I don't believe any of us were born into spiritual thinking.
Right.
It's like, uh, uh, or in specifically in science of mind and spirit, religious science, a spiritual education, or any education. We had to be exposed to it, and we got exposed in different ways. And one way may not work for another. However, the main thing is to be open, to be vulnerable, to be poor in spirit, and in doing so, we become rich. We become rich and wealthy
Hmm.
in spirit, because it's like some of the richest people in the world, and not necessarily in the current climate, but it, they do as well. They give. They donate. They give of their wealth.
Hmm.
They know that principle. They don't know any other.
Yes,
They know that.
reciprocity.
Yeah, they know it. As they give, they shall receive.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
however, they have to be open to doing it. Like
Right.
all the magnates, the
Right.
Rockefellers and all those guys. They knew they had to.
They
They
have to
knew the
keep the
spiritual
flow
aspect.
going. The
Yes.
circulation is important. Estelle, I was
Absolutely.
thinking also spiritual economics. We've got to learn this, right? And so when you were talking about what you do, I was really excited because I was thinking about the book Spiritual Economics,
Yes.
and having an understanding that currency, the word currency is energy,
Oh,
and that
yes.
financially, that's what money is. It's that
That's
currency,
right.
that energy, that it has to go. You have to let it go in order for it to come back,
Circulate. Absolutely.
circulate. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to say one thing about this knowing, that knowing gets in our way because we forget that this is a co-creation.
Hmm.
That we're not just doing it out, we're working it ourselves. We think we are, right?
Right.
That I got to make it happen, and
Hmm.
whatever money or any other area of life, and it's internally driven. It's a co-creation. and
Yes.
and that gives people, when they realize it, it gives you relief,
Mm.
like, oh my gosh, I don't have to do it all myself, that I am in co-creation with a source, higher spirit, whatever you want to call it, and
Yes.
that is being, that's open
Hmm.
open to that I'm not just doing this. I'm not all knowing. I'm not the one.
Right.
That
Yeah,
it is the one through me, right?
Hmm.
That
absolutely.
that makes it work.
And just as important, it's recognizing that in all others as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that you
So,
don't have to making it happen for them either.
Right.
right. Or
Or being
expecting them.
frustrated, expecting or being frustrated when it doesn't, or all
Yeah.
of that. It really
Yeah.
takes everybody, it takes you off the hook. It
Yeah.
does.
And in any relationship, it's like, are you dependent on that person to make your life whatever you think it's supposed to be?
Right.
No. We're responsible for our own life. Can we work
Exactly.
together? Can we support each other in creating the best life possible for ourselves individually and collectively? Yes, absolutely. And that's what it's about. What was that song? No man is a mountain, no man stands alone. We
Right.
are here for one another,
Yes.
because we can't do it alone. That's why we're still together. you know,
That's right.
and that's how that love works. The love. How does that song? Love will keep us together.
Together.
All right, don't get me started. Okay.
Uh,
Uh, However, we do have some affirmations to assist
Yes.
everyone in
All right.
in remembering and knowing the truth. And since we have three of us, each one will take an affirmation. Let's start off with Lita Perez.
All right. So, as we do these affirmations, we like to take a deep breath in and we'll say the affirmation, and then we'll do that again. Take a deep breath in. So, I invite you to sit back and uh, let's take that deep breath. It is so that I embrace the power of vulnerability and connection. Mm, say that again. Inhale. It is so that I embrace the power of vulnerability and connection.
And Estelle.
Say, you want me to do the same one?
No,
Next
Next.
one. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to take a breath in. I'm going to have you take a breath in for 4 and out for 7. So breath in and out. It is so that being vulnerable and connected, I get to truly see the divinity in everyone. And once again, in for 4, out for 7. Breath in. It is so that being vulnerable and connected, I get to truly see the divinity in everyone.
and inviting each one to take a breath. It is so that even when engaging in uncomfortable conversations, I and all benefit with an opportunity for growth and evolution. Let's take a breath. Let's breathe that in and feel that. It is so that even when engaging in uncomfortable conversations, I and all benefit with an opportunity for growth and evolution. This is the truth. It is so. And so it is. And now it is. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to take the center stage right now, and we're going to invite Lita Perez and Estelle Gibson back in just a moment as we go. And we're going to just cement, just layers of cement by this prayer, by this oh, way of connecting and knowing, being vulnerable, and trusting that the Creator knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it, by means of each and every one as one. And because there's only one power, one presence, one life, that life is God's life, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. That is the life of each and every one, not just Lita, not just Estelle, not just Ellen and Ray and all those who are in attendance, everyone, everywhere, whether they watch this or not, there is only one, and that one power working on behalf and behold of all is most certainly knowing that, yes, we are all together, whether you know it or not, like it or not, that's just the way it is. There is the intertwining string that is always connected of love. That regardless of the seeming conflicts, we know that all there is one. All there is God. God is all there is. And therefore, God is never truly at odds with itself. It's impossible. How could it be? And so, in this human incarnation of the divine, we take our lesson from the divine that says, all there is one. I release anything and all things that seem to get in the way of knowing and living and sharing this truth that we are all one, that we are still together, we are always together. And so I am knowing this is the same principle that is in effect in all of our affairs. When it comes to our health, we are vulnerable to share our need and desire for support, knowing that we support our body in being the best that it can be in any given moment, in every moment, because the body knows what to do, how to do it, and we allow it to have what is necessary for it to do its job. Its purpose is to move us along, to house this infinite divine spirit on an individual basis. And each one gets to practice vibrant ways of being healthy. And so I am knowing that is also true in our finances. We have health in our finances, health in our relationship with ourselves, with our higher power, with the energy of finances. Whether it's money or anything else that makes life living, makes life worthwhile, that helps us to be purposeful in our presence on the planet. We say yes to being open and vulnerable to receive the gifts of spirit, including money. And knowing that it's all available, we say yes to the good that is necessary for us to fulfill our purpose. And I know that's the true, most certainly true when it comes to relationships, that we say, yes, I don't know it all. And I am open to receive the information, the education, in order to live harmoniously with my neighbor, in my community, with the world. Oh, it's not about dropping bombs out of fear and so-called hate and so-called being in control and in charge. It's about being open and vulnerable and willing to love fiercely one another. In spite of any seeming difference. No. It's about what do we have in common, that we're all one. And so I know that these words that are calling forth for a greater understanding, unconditional love, unconditional friendship, unconditional togetherness, unity, we say yes. We allow it to be unfolding easily and effortlessly. And I simply affirm it by saying it is so, and so it is. And therefore, it's happening right here, right now, in ways seen and unseen. And now it is. Amen. Right on. Yes. And this is what we like to do. We like to pray. If you like prayer support, you can contact us, One Love Center for Spiritual Living, at onelovecenter.org. Email us, and all prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. If you need more in-depth time with myself or Ellen Suazo, our practitioner, and we have a practitioner in training who is working along with us, that is Lita Perez, send by email, onelovecenter.org. And please know that your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. Also, we want to thank everyone for all these years. This is like our 13th year. We give thanks for those who have been supporting us financially, as well as other ways behind the scenes or assisting with the broadcasts and ways when we've met in person. So, thank you for your givingness. Thank you for your willingness to give. And we are grateful for your donations to One Love. You can go to our website, onelovecenter.org. look for the donate button. You can do it through PayPal or whichever means that you are capable of doing. We also do the Cash Me app, which is $ One Love CSL. Thank you again for giving. Thank you for receiving. Thank you. And I pray that you get to receive more. Well, listen, we know the more we give, the more we get, the more we give, the more we give, the more we get. And that's just Lita talked about that circulation, that flow. All right. Give to where you're spiritually fed, even if it's not here, However, if you do hear something here, please share it. Let the world know. And we have affirmation of abundance. And you can just be still in this moment, and we will go over the affirmation of abundance. Feel free to put your hands over your heart. Just feel that vibration, that cosmic vibration that is sending signals out and receiving signals of love, of charity, of givingness, of all of that. Receiving this affirmation of abundance. Repeat with me that money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. And as I share my offering, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have some announcements before we bring our guests back. And first, we are requesting a member or a friend of a member or a friend or somebody. If this is your first time and you just want to help out, get in touch with us. We could use some help for technical assistance. It's not all on one person. We are in this together, so we're still together, even if we have little glitches like you may have seen earlier today, but that's okay. So we need help managing our broadcasts. Contact us through our website, through our email, oneLove@onelovecenter.org. Send us an email and we'll get back to you. Bless you and thank you. So we invite you to join us at the Convention of the Americas, Chapala, Mexico, July 22nd to the 26th. Please contact with our practitioner, Ellen Suazo, and you can start a payment plan. I want to let you know your payment plan is just not going to be available forever. So if you're slightly interested, send an email to, as you see here on the screen, it's Convention of the Americas, LAS Americas @gmail.com. So send an email or just go online, look up Convention of the Americas, CSL Convention, and just get whatever information you need. I'm going to be there. So you want to celebrate my birthday with me? Let's do it there. All right. So Beyond Limits. What? Hold on. Let's go back. Beyond Limits. All right. We're not going to be offering this for a whole lot longer because, if we don't get enough people, then we'll wait until a little longer. However, we're announcing it now. Move beyond your limiting beliefs. And if you don't think you have any limiting beliefs, this class is for you. So you can register for our class Beyond Limits. Go to our website, onelovecenter.org/events, or you can email us, onelove@onelovecenter.org. Now, we have our featured speaker, Estelle Gibson. She has her book, Poor by Choice. Please follow the link, which will be coming up just a moment. So just tell us a little bit more about your book.
Yes. So this book is a continuation of my TED Talk. So there's 3 distinct parts to the book. My TED Talk was about financial dependency, defined as being dependent on a job, a person, or a circumstance for money and feeling trapped. So the first part of the book talks about financial dependency, what it is, and what you can do to get out of it. The second part of the book is my 5-step coaching method that I take clients through. It's a manifestation method to help people to go from where they are to the dreams that they have in their life. And the third part is my spin on specific money topics. The one chapter is No More Money Diets, because I don't believe in budgets. I believe in expansion and spending plans. So I talk about spending plans, saving, investing, debt, just general money topics, so that people can have a basis for money management. So it's a holistic book. It talks about mindset and money and all of it combined. And my personal story from beginning to end is woven through it.
All right, great. So everybody, get that book, and or go to the website, and also, see how you can be vulnerable. You can be poor in spirit. All right, you don't have to be poor by choice.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
that is so good. I'm taking that.
all right. And this is how we met formally, Estelle and
Yes.
I, through the visioning retreat facilitated by the superlatives are many. The awesome uh, Ray Jordan. I could go on and on about it. I can say that if you never done visioning, then this would be absolutely the best way to be introduced to visioning. If you've done it before with Ray, then come on back. If you've done visioning but not with Ray, then you really need to
Yeah.
experience this as well. This is the next level visioning that will make a profound difference in your life. It's the way it's presented. It's through a loving, uh, compassionate, uh, stirring way to lead you to your greater yet to be. Um, yes. So
Can I
here's
share
the
something?
information.
Can I
Yeah,
share
go ahead,
something, Greg?
Estelle.
Okay, good. So I've been visioning. I mean, I visioned with one of Michael Beckwith, who started the process, his core visioning people for years. I mean, I've been visioning since the '90s, and let me tell you, Ray's retreat, her method. I mean, unbelievable. I got so much out of it. And I'm a person that used to lead visioning. So if you have never done it, if you have done visioning and you want to have an expansion and an anchoring of visioning in your life, you want to attend this retreat.
Thank you. Absolutely. Now, I have to tell you, One Love Center for Spiritual Living got its name from doing visioning.
Yes.
I also was introduced to visioning by Reverend Michael Beckwith, actually when he did a talk in Dayton, Ohio. So, so that was my birth into this teaching, and I'm still here. So, yeah, wonderful. You can't go wrong. You can only go right. Whether you turn left or right, you can only go right. All right. So, I'm gonna bring back Lita, and either of you two have any closing remarks before we go into prayer and music?
I got to say, I really enjoyed today.
Me
Estelle, you were
too.
wonderful, and
Oh, thank
I
you.
really enjoyed listening to you and sharing with us today. So thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you again.
Yes. And thank you for creating a beautiful space for me to step into.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. So since we have all three of you, two of you, three of us, then uh, let's share in the prayer. Yeah, we can keep it brief and then get into the music. I'll start it and end it, and you two can add a word or two or three,
Okay.
and let's get it on. So,
All right.
well, how wonderful it is to be together in spirit, to be knowing, to be in that space of regardless of the out picturing that has been going on in the world, in communities, in our individual and personal lives, that we are always together in God, in spirit, in life, in love, because that's all there is. That's the truth of what is that it's all God, it's all love. It's one life that we get to share. And I don't mean us on the screen, I mean everyone. Folks that we know and folks that we don't know and will never know, we're all one. And we're still together. In spite of what we might think about somebody in another country with another language, with another custom, doesn't matter. We are still together on this ball that's circling the sun and any other planets, wherever there is life, we are one. And so I am just grateful to know that we have practices of being vulnerable, of being still, of being accepting, of being compassionate and understanding in each moment. that helps us live in harmony with ourselves, with our understanding of God, with our understanding of each and every one. And I pass my word.
So I take a breath here and I am so grateful. I know that our eyes see all good in all, that our ears heard without judgment, that our minds are open and that we are expanding. Our thoughts and action are guided by spirit. I know that we lead with an open heart, an open mind, listening for that quiet voice, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and knowing that within us all is a deep, deep, abiding love for all. And I pass this on to Estelle.
And so I give thanks. I give thanks for everything that has transpired here today. And that as we move forward powerfully into this week with ease and with grace, that we remember to anchor our awareness that the power within us is greater than anything outside of us. And so that we can move forward with love, with joy, with clarity, with wisdom and peace, and embracing ourselves and others, and creating a community everywhere we go. And that community of loving fiercely, of being vulnerable, of sharing powerfully, and creating a space for ourselves and others to grow, expand, and to evolve into our highest vibration so that we can make a difference and make this planet a better place to be. And I lovingly pass that on.
And knowing that these words spoken are the words of truth, spoken into the law of divine right action, which is just waiting for these words and make them happen, make them manifest, and is already happening. So nothing left to do but to say, yeah, that's the way it is. It is so. And I affirm it and invite each one to join me in affirming it by saying, and so it is.
So it is.
And now
So
it
it
is.
is.
Right
Now
here,
it
even
is.
now. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to thank Rev Tansy, and Ellen behind the scenes, and we may have had others, and of course Ray Jordan, and I don't know if I miss anybody. Well, oh yeah, Yaneth Acosta, thank you also for joining us as well, and come back and also hit the share button and share it with your community. Hopefully, knowing that, look, hopefully. I know that there's something in
That's
this for
right.
everyone.
That's
For
right. We know.
somebody, and if not them, then they can share it to somebody who knows something. So we're going to go into a wonderful song. Listen carefully. You probably never heard it before. It just means being open, mind blown, you know. And so let's go with that, and we'll be back.
All right.
Mind blown. Mind blown. I don't know. I just be rapping. Yeah. You were born perfect, then it shifted. Cause somebody more important said you different. Why they more important? Why you listen? How could you imagine what you missing? Cause when you imagine it, it's what you in it. So here you are, or are you hidden? And when you right here, why you distant? Or where you visiting to because it isn't? Yet and still, how could you prove what you miss? Like if you die, how could you prove you exist? And if you're life, why would you prove you at risk? And if you right, how could you lose what you is? Can't tell the real from the made up. That's why you still get chills when you prayed up. You the question and the answer, but you say what? Like how could you ever destroy your creator? Mind blown, mind blown, mind blown.
I fight for you, not with you, your way. That's real love, I got answers, not questions, I got back. You're killing yourself, but you won't live again. We try to cheat death, but we wanna go to heaven. Preach, make that make sense. My blow, make that make sense. My blow, make that make sense. We try to cheat death, but we wanna go to heaven.
Funny when we pass with a fashion. Bunch of masks wearing masks with their mask on. Covered underneath, they got their past on. Another level deep, they lies their passion. They help you keep a trap with a trap song. All this piece they block with the wax on. You still think weak when you act strong. Living an opinion cause the fact's wrong. You don't trust cause you don't trust yourself. That's why you cuss because you cursed yourself. That's why you can't find, you don't search yourself. You try to hurt but you just hurt yourself. It's like what they say that I'm rubber, you glue. Your words can birth purpose, they'll always ring true. Even when they not, they do. You think that you speak against others, you're speaking to you. Mind blown, mind blown.
I fight for you, not with you, your way. That's when love got answers, not questions. I got bad. You're killing yourself, but you wanna live again. We try to cheat death, but we wanna go to heaven. Preach, make that make sense. My blow, make that make sense. My blow, make that make sense. We try to cheat death, but we wanna go to heaven.
You trade your happiness for some cash. Think that makes you happy, contradictory. Going around trying to make splash. Wonder why life seems slippery. Becoming next person was bad. That even good is a mystery. Being so stuck in the past that you try to make history. Field-based thinking brings scary illusions. Solutions from delusions bring truth substitutions. And if it ain't true, then why hold it higher? You swear you 100 and you claim to hate liars. Self-hate is soft, so hate is what's found. Seek not to hold and you never be bound. Like, could you see up when you always looking down? But look a little further while I readjust your crown. Mind blown.
I fight for you, not with you, your way. It's real love, I got answers, not questions, I got pain. You're killing yourself, but you wanna live again. Try to cheat death, but we wanna go to heaven. Preach, make that make sense. Hold up. My blow, make that make sense. My blow, make that make sense. We try to cheat death, but we wanna live heaven. My blow.
Yes. Leave your mind open. Be ready. Be ready for your mind to be blown in a wonderful way. Yes, indeed. I want to thank you again, Estelle Gibson. Thank you, Lita Perez. Thank you, everyone, for watching and playing along and contributing and for sharing this. We'll do it again next week and every week thereafter, because this is what we do to help us all still be together. All right. Peace and blessings.
Bye-bye.